The division of Indian society into castes is a complex phenomenon with deep historical, religious, and socio-economic roots. The system didn't originate from a single cause but evolved over centuries due to a combination of ideological frameworks, social customs, and political forces. The Varna system, a religious and ideological foundation. The most common explanation for the caste system's origin is its connection to the ancient Hindu concept of Varna, literally, color, or class. This four-tiered social hierarchy is first mentioned in the Rig Veda, one of the oldest Hindu scriptures, and is later elaborated upon in texts like the Manusmriti. The Varnas were believed to have originated from a cosmic being, Purusha, during creation, with each part of the body giving rise to a different social group. Brahmins, emerging from the mouth. They were the priests, scholars, and teachers. They were considered the most spiritually pure and were responsible for religious rituals and knowledge. Kshatriyas, from the arms came the rulers, warriors, and administrators, whose duty was to protect society. Vaishyas, born from the thighs. They were the merchants, farmers, and artisans, tasked with generating wealth and providing for the economy. Shudras, created from the feet. They were the laborers and service providers, whose role was to serve the other three Varnas. This early Varna system was initially more fluid and based on one's occupation and qualities rather than birth. Over time, however, it became more rigid, with a person's Varna determined solely by the family they were born into. Jati, the practical social reality. While the Varna system provides the ideological framework, the actual, on-the-ground reality of the caste system is based on jati, which translates to birth group or community. There are thousands of these jatis across India, often associated with a specific occupation, geographical location, or ethnic origin. Unlike the four Varnas, jatis are the endogamous groups within which people traditionally marry and interact. Endogamy. A defining feature of the caste system is endogamy, the practice of marrying only within one's own caste or subcaste. This practice has been instrumental in preserving caste identities and hierarchies over millennia. Hereditary occupations. Many jatis are linked to hereditary professions. For example, some jatis are traditionally potters, weavers, or barbers. This linkage ensured that skills and knowledge were passed down through generations but also limited social and occupational mobility. Purity and pollution. A central tenet of the caste system, particularly in its religious and ritualistic dimension, is the concept of purity and pollution. High-ranking castes, particularly Brahmins, maintained their purity by avoiding contact with those considered polluting. This led to the creation of the outcasts, now known as Dalits or untouchables, who were relegated to tasks deemed ritually unclean, such as handling dead animals or human waste. They were historically excluded from the four Varna categories. Historical and political factors. The rigidification of the caste system wasn't just a religious development, it was also shaped by political and historical events. Ancient and medieval India. While the Varna system was a guiding principle, its application in practice was never perfectly uniform. Historical evidence shows instances of kings and rulers from various Varnas, indicating some social mobility. However, the system generally became more entrenched over time, especially during periods of political instability, as jatis provided a stable social structure. British colonial influence. The British Raj played a significant role in solidifying and codifying the caste system. Through census operations and administrative policies, the British attempted to categorize and classify the diverse jatis into the four Varna categories. This process, often advised by upper caste Brahmins, gave the system a legal and administrative rigidity it hadn't previously possessed on a large scale. They also used it for political ends, creating preferential treatments and divisions that further hardened caste identities. The caste system today. Although the Indian Constitution officially outlawed caste discrimination in 1950 and implemented affirmative action policies, known as reservations, for historically marginalized groups, the caste system still influences modern Indian society. Social and political identity. Caste remains a significant factor in politics, with parties often appealing to specific caste groups to secure votes. It also influences social interactions, especially in rural areas. and continues to affect marriage and employment opportunities. Urban versus rural divide. While the strict observance of caste rules, like untouchability, is less prevalent in urban areas due to modernization and increased intermingling, it still persists in many rural regions. Dalit movements. The legacy of the caste system has led to powerful social and political movements by Dalits and other oppressed communities to fight for equality and an end to caste-based discrimination. In summary, Indian society is divided into castes due to a convergence of ancient religious philosophy, the Varna system, the practical organization of society into birth-based communities, jatis, and the historical formalization of these divisions, particularly during the British colonial period. While legally abolished, its deep-seated influence on social, political, and economic life continues to this day.